Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajak Acharya Stotara Shatashi Śrīmad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Gaura Premanande. Sarva Shastra Piyusha Sarva Vedaika Satvala Sarva Siddhantaratnadya Sarva Lokaika Drikprada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Śrīmad-Bhāgavata Prabhu Kalidvanto Ditaditya Shri Krishna Parivartita Paramananda Pataya Prima Varshak Sharayate Sarvada Sarva Sevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostume Madhika Bandho Madsangin Madguro Man Mahādana Madnistaraka Madbhagya Madananda Namostute Asadhu Sadhu Tadain Atinicho Chatakara Hanamuncha Kadachinmam Premna Hritkantayospura Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, the appearance of Śukadeva Gosvāmī, text number 8. Tatropajagmur bhuvanam punānā. Tatropajagmur bhuvanam punānā. mahā-anubhāvā munayaḥ sa-śiṣyāḥ. mahā-anubhāvā munayaḥ sa-śiṣyāḥ. prāyeṇa tīrthābhigamāpadeśaiḥ. prāyeṇa tīrthābhigamāpadeśaiḥ. svayam hi tīrthāni punanti santaḥ. svayam hi tīrthāni punanti santaḥ. tatropajagmur bhuvanam punānā. mahā-anubhāvā munayaḥ sa-śiṣyāḥ. prāyeṇa tīrthābhigamāpadeśaiḥ. svayam hi tīrthāni punanti santaḥ. Please repeat. mahā sa-śiṣyāḥ prāyeṇa tīrthābhigamāpadeśaiḥ svayam hi tīrthāni punanti santaḥ tatropajagmur bhuvanaṁ mahā-anubhāvā munayaḥ sa-śiṣyāḥ prāyeṇa tīrthābhigamāpadeśaiḥ svayam hi tīrthāni punanti santaḥ. Tatra, there, upajagmuḥ, arrived, bhuvanam, the universe, punānāḥ, those who can sanctify, mahā-anubhāvāḥ, great minds, munayaḥ, thinkers, sa-śiṣyāḥ, along with their disciples, prāyeṇa, almost, tīrtha, place of pilgrimage, abhigama, journey, apadeśaiḥ, on the plea of, svayam, personally, he, certainly, tīrthāni, all the places of pilgrimage, punanti, sanctify, santaḥ, sages. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. At that time, all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by their disciples and sages, who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just with their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. Purport. When Mahārāja Parīkṣit sat down on the bank of the Ganges, the news spread in all directions of the universe, and the great-minded sages, who could follow the importance of the occasion, all arrived there on the plea of pilgrimage. Actually, they came to meet Mahārāja Parīkṣit and not to take a bath of pilgrimage, because all of them were competent enough to sanctify the places of pilgrimage. Common men go to pilgrimage sites to get themselves purified of all sins. Thus the places of pilgrimage become overburdened with the sins of others. But when such sages visit overburdened places of pilgrimage, they sanctify the places by their presence. Therefore, the sages who came to meet Mahārāja Parīkṣit, who were not very much interested in getting themselves purified like common men, but on the plea of taking a bath in that place, they came to meet Mahārāja Parīkṣit, because they could foresee that Srimad-Bhāgavatam would be spoken by Śukadeva Gosvāmī. All of them wanted to take advantage of the great occasion. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitānaṁ pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, common men go to the places of pilgrimage generally to get free from the sins. That's the idea. Usually in the Vedic culture you take a bath, tīrtha snāna. That's the most common way how to get free from the sins, get the blessings. You can make there's a parikrama of certain places, go around, do some puja. That's considered pious. Just this much, that is condemned by Lord Sri Krishna actually when he says, Yasyatma bhudi kunape tridatuke swadhi kalatradishu bhaumajyadihi yatirtha buddhi salileha na karhichit janeshu bhagyeshu saeva gokharaha. He compares people who identify themselves as inert body composed of mucus, bile and air, and those who, that's yasyatma buddhi kunape tridatuke swadhikala tradishu, and those who assume his wife and family that are permanently his own, bhaumajyadihi, those who think that earthen image or the land of his birth is worshipable, or yatirtha buddhi salile, those who see a place of pilgrimage as merely the water there. What does it mean to see the water? Water to take a bath and get rid of the sins, take blessings, and then you can go back to your material life, with the blessings of tīrtha, with the blessings of the Lord. We take the blessings, but the mentality stays the same. God is there, and we can fervently pray to Him, but we pray what? For different material amenities, money, good job, wife, nice children, so on and so on. That's considered pious life. But tīrthas become overburdened with such with sins of the people. That's what it says here. And we know the story of how Mother Ganga came to this earth. When Sagar Maharaj was doing Ashwamedha Yagya, so and Indra was as often became afraid that this Sagar Maharaj would become too powerful if he succeeds with the Ashwamedha Yagya. So he stole the horse, the sacrificial horse, and then one set of sons of Sagar Maharaj were looking, where's the horse, and they thought they found the culprit. It's a Kapila Dev, but they got the wrong one, and Kapila Dev became very angry, and he just by his look he pulverized them. They became ash. So that was the end of them for the time being. But luckily for them, they had a brother, Anshuman, who understood what came to happen and went to see Kapila Dev, but with a different attitude, very humbly, and asked him, so, what could be done so that my sons could get relief? They went to hell. because they were inimical to a sage. So I said, yeah, there's a solution. Ganga should come. But if Ganga comes here and the waters bathe the ashes of your brothers, then they can be relieved from their sins. And he took that seriously. So Anshuman wanted to bring the Ganga down, couldn't do it. His son Dilip tried, couldn't do it. Then Bhagirath, he was successful because he performed an austerity, great austerities, and Mother Ganga became satisfied with him and appeared to him. He said, so what do you want? He explained. He said, oh, fine. She said, fine, but there's two problems I see, and you have to do something about them, otherwise I cannot come. First of all, if I come down to earth, I'm too forceful. Just like that, I'll go through earth, through Bhumandala, down to Rasatala. So there won't be. My waters will not be on the earth, it will be down. So that's one problem. Another problem is that if I do come here, people will bathe in my waters and they'll overburden me with their sins. How you intend to solve this? Even Ganga becomes overburdened. Prabhupada says only Krishna, he can purify everyone, but everyone else is subject to. It's not as powerful. Krishna is one. We are his servants. Everybody else not as powerful as Krishna. So Bhagirath was a great devotee. He knew the answers. He said, first of all, the first answer was that about the sins. He said a very beautiful verse. Kim chaham na bhuvam yasye naramayam richadyaham mrijjami tadakam kvaham rajam tatra vichintyatam. No, that's different, sorry. That's from the Ganga. But Bhagirath said, Sadhavo nyasina shanta brahmishta loka pavanaha harantyagam tenga sangat teshvaste hyaghabidharaihi. He said that those who are saintly because of devotional service and are therefore in the renounced order, free from material desires, and who are pure devotees, expert in following the regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas, are always glorious and pure in behavior and are able to deliver all fallen souls. When such pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted, for such devotees always keep in the core of their hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can vanquish all sinful reactions. So, Krishna is Agabhit. He can destroy all the agas, all the sins. Agabhit Hari. And devotees who carry Krishna in their hearts, they can purify. Who is actually purifying? It's Krishna. But we can say it's devotees because we see devotees. So in that way, devotees will bathe, as Bhagirath predicted, will bathe in your waters and they'll relieve you from sins. And for the other matter, for your forceful waters, Lord Shiva will take that on his head, and he is powerful, and he will be able to sustain your force. So the sages which came to see Mahārāja Parīkṣit were of that caliber. They were these pure devotees. They didn't come to purify themselves. We heard this from Prabhupada. We can see a little bit how other acharyas are speaking. Sridhara Swami said that the same thing. They didn't come to take a bath at the holy place because they were kritartha. And kritartha means they were accomplished already. Means sinless. But it says it may be seen that they came as if on tīrthayatra. So for all it appears like that. They came for a tīrthayatra. Yeah, they came, but that's just a pretext. Just a pretext. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur adds that we can understand that the coming to the holy place was just a pretext, because they were rejoicing at seeing Parīkṣit much more than just coming to the holy place. The sages got to know what was happening with Parīkṣit Maharaj. And as Prabhupada said, that they could foresee that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam would be spoken. That's actually, I think, taken directly from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says that by their omniscience, they were sarvagya, they saw, they understood that will happen. And they understood that there's no other way for them to attain bliss, internal bliss, other than listening to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. They came for the nectar. So they were self-accomplished, but they came for the nectar. So there's more than just being self-accomplished, being freed from sins. That's Śukadeva Gosvāmī himself is the example of that. He was already completely pure. He didn't want to see any Maya, but then he was attracted to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and became the speaker of the Bhagavatam. And these sages became the first, at least in this incarnation of the Bhagavatam, which we see now, they became the listeners. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam speaks of the nectar of listening to the Bhagavatam right at the beginning. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam shukamukhatam ritadravam samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. So he is Bhagavatam or Sutta Goswami is inviting anyone, please hear, this is nectarian, and this is the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. So the idea of relishing the nectar is very appealing. It's appealing, right, to everyone. They drink the nectar. Yes, I'll drink the nectar. Why not? I mean, that's the goal of life, to be happy, to experience bliss. The idea of obtaining the nectar by hearing about the pastimes of the Lord, that's fine. But along with that goes giving up the material attachments. But that's not so easily accepted. You just want the nice thing, but not the one thing which is, the other thing which is a little more difficult. And immediately it seems like bad idea. Like if we want this, like we want the, how they say, best from both worlds. Yeah? Best from the spiritual world, best from the material world. Well, the point is, you can have one thing fully. You can, we can have a compromise, but Yeah, it's compromise. It's a compromise. It's not full nectar. It doesn't fully satisfy the soul. That's why immediately Śukadeva Gosvāmī says, "Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktira dokchaje ahaituke pratihata yayatma suprasidati." This dharma which Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktira dokchaje, dharma which brings about bhakti towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead without any cessation and without any cause, means causeless, that will completely satisfy the soul. So, yeah, immediately the Krishna consciousness is defined, pure. Yeah. But recognizing the mentality of people, of us, who are here in the material world for a purpose, because we wanted to be here. The Vedic literature generally advise or recommends step-by-step approach, So it's karma, jnana, yoga, bhakti as the pinnacle. And very rarely people become devotees or fully self-realized. Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlavaha, Krishna says. Manushyanam sahasrishu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhaye mam veti tatvata. Very rarely somebody knows me. Knowing Krishna means serving Krishna. But still, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam proposes or propounds or preaches the direct approach. Forget about karma, forget about jnana, yoga. Just go for bhakti yoga, bhakti directly. Because everything else is just, it's a waste of time. It's good if you cannot do anything else, but, waste of time. It's a waste of time. And you may get stuck on the way out. You go out and you go down, and that's the cycle of samsara. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam immediately tells us what's the goal. Satyam param dhimahi. We meditate on the Supreme, not on anything else. This Bhagavatam, such a revolutionary literature. I remember when I first took it in my hands, started reading. I mean, first of all, there's shlokas, and I was not used to such things, but almost didn't understand anything. But you can immediately understand something, that this is about something sublime. It's something different. This is worth, getting to know more. There must be something here. Before that, I read Ishopanishad. It's also, for unacquainted person, it's difficult. I understood it's about God. That's I understood. So, what exactly was the idea? I do not know. Something about God, good to serve God or something like that. But when we go more in details, what is this all about? We see, amazing. This is something I never, on our own, we cannot come across. We cannot just, we can be completely disgusted with the world, with people, with how everything is going on. So vairagya, or some sort of vairagya, may come in our hearts, but just vairagya is empty. It just means no pain from attachment, but also no bliss. Whatever bliss is there from no pain. That's also something. In comparison, it's better, but if you don't know what's the purpose of life, just vairagya, anyway, as the Prabhupada explains why even those who are liberated, why they fall down. They become lonely. It's lonely out there. Yeah? There's no pain, but also no pleasure. No significant pleasure. It's not enough. We are made for something more. We are eternal servants of Krishna. We are not just, not engaging with the material modes. That's just one level. Another level is that we are eternal servants of Krishna. We should turn our faces towards Krishna, which means serve Krishna. So, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and the second verse also sets the tone. Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. Prabhupada quoted this verse like innumerable times, like always. So, explaining this is for nirmatsaranam satam, those who are non-envious. And he would quote devotees who are non-sat. Sat means devotee or saints. And nirmatsara, non-envious. And what means non-envious? That's explained by Sridhar Swami. Says that nirmatsaranam paratkarsha asahanam matsaraha. Envy means to be, cannot stand, asahanam. You cannot tolerate others' success, others' well-being. Yeah. So, and nirmatsara means inability. That's envy, inability to to tolerate that others are doing okay. So devotees are exactly opposite. They're not envious. They're more than that. Not just not envious. They're also bhutanukampi. They are compassionate to the people, bhutas. Yeah. So they possess that qualities because we are part of Krishna. As they possess also Krishna's qualities, and devotees, in devotees, those qualities, they are manifest. They're not hidden anymore. So the Bhagavat understands that, or giving us this understanding, that in order for the people to relish nectar, the revolution in their hearts has to happen. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abhaddavatyapi namanya anantasya yashonkitani achrinvanti gayanti grinanti sadavaha. On the other hand, which means the previous verse, previous to this one, explained that literature which doesn't describe Krishna, it's like a pilgrimage site for crows. That's not a nice site. It's I would say garbage. That's a pilgrimage site for crows. Nobody else goes there. On the other hand, that literature which is full of description of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation. Full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. Sadhavas, they accept such literature fully. These are words of Narada to Vyasadeva, who explained to him that when Vyasadeva felt some emptiness in his heart, dissatisfaction, although he compiled so many Vedic literatures. And he explained to him, you have encouraged people to karma, jnana, dharma, artha, kama. Yeah. Artha and kama in the name of dharma. Yeah. But people are anyway inclined to enjoying themselves. But now they'll do it in the name of dharma. So, better describe the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. Directly. And there's so people should hear about that and purify themselves and understand that they should serve the Lord. And there's no some say, but you have to give up your duties in the material world, your family, your community. And if somebody makes it as a devotee, fine, but what if he doesn't? What if he falls away from the path of devotional service? I said, no problem. It's no problem at all, because what are those who tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harir bhajanna bhakvatapate tatoyadi. So if it happens that somebody falls away from the path of devotional service because he is inexperienced, not fully mature, then just tell me, what are those who meticulously follow their duties, material duties, what do they gain? Yeah. There's just a rhetorical question. What do they gain? They go up and down in the material world. They may go up to Brahmaloka, go down to Patalaloka, and enjoy different species of life in different ways. But that's not for intelligent people. Yeah. Intelligent people, they tasyaiva hetu prayateta kovide nalabhyate yad brahmatam uparyadahan nalabhyate dukkhavat anyata sukam kalena sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. The point is, this verse also quoted so many times by Prabhupada. Why do people endeavor for happiness in a material way? Because happiness anyhow will come. Kalena sarvatra gabhiram. So it will come just like unhappiness comes. In due course of time, happiness also comes. So don't endeavor for that. Endeavor for something else which is not available in this material world. Yeah. So that is the conviction which devotee has to have to really fully take up devotional service. Then we can really, that's nishtha, that's shraddha also. Yeah, this process is giving full results. There's nothing else that I should be doing. Then with such understanding, devotional service will be blissful. And Krishna takes care of such devotees. So sages came there to hear the nectar, to hear the Bhagavatam, not just for themselves. Sutta Gosvāmī was one of the listeners, luckily for us. If there was just Śukadeva and Parīkṣit, that was all right for them. Both would go back to Godhead, one by narrating the pastimes, the other one by hearing the pastimes of the Lord, and the rest of us here in the material world going to hell. But Sutta Gosvāmī was there, luckily. He listened, and then narrated that to the sages of Naimisharanya. Sutta Gosvāmī, for himself, didn't take any credit. He just said, by the mercy of Śukadeva Gosvāmī, I was there, I listened, and whatever I could assimilate, I'm giving that to you. Just like whatever I can, whatever is within my capacity, just like some birds can fly very high, some birds cannot fly as high. You know, some pigeons, maybe they're not flying so high, or some moinas or something, insignificant birds, they don't fly high. Eagles go very high, and Sutta Goswami was such an eagle. He could go, you know, high. He is non different from Śukadeva Gosvāmī, both the transcendentalists of highest caliber. So this is how Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam appeared for us, because of the compassionate devotees, compassionate Krishna, who through his devotees gave this literature to us to learn, to relish, and to abide by it. Srila Prabhupada said, make Bhagavatam your life. Right? So how can we make Bhagavatam our life? Like Prabhupada, he made Bhagavatam his life. That's why he is also called Bhagavata. Right? None different from the Bhagavata. Of course it's different. One is a book Bhagavata, another one is a devotee Bhagavata, but they're the same in purpose. Yeah. Just with the book Bhagavata it's very difficult. It's possible, but it's difficult. Yeah. I think Prabhupada says that the person Bhagavata is, what's the difference between the book and the person Bhagavata? Of course there's many differences, but one significant difference is that the person Bhagavata can twist your ears. Right? The Bhagavata is there, you can open and you can learn, and it teaches you. You see, like we're hearing how Sanatana Goswami is taking personally the Bhagavatam. He's taking it as his guru, his friend, his everything. You know? But we can also just conveniently close the book and, you know, go for our business. But if we are fortunate we come in the contact with the Bhagavata, then he'll tell us, no, this is not good. That's the twisting of the ear. This is wrong. You're a rascal. We don't like to hear this, but we need to hear this. So, yes, Bhagavata is one of the most potent angas of the devotional service, of bhakti. It's described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as the 5 most potent angas of bhakti. And let's enumerate them. Shraddha, Visheshata, Priti, Srimurtir, Angri Sevana. That's the deity worship. Worship the deity with faith and love. Then Śrīmad-Bhāgavad Artanam Asvado Rasikai Saha, to relish the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the association of the Rasikas, those who already taste the nectar of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Sajati Ashaya Snigde Sadho Sangha Svatovare, to associate with devotees who are of the same mentality than we are, and they are friendly to us, and they're more advanced to us. That's the best kind of association we can get. Nama Sankirtanam, that's clear, holy names of the Lord, actually the most potent. And Shriman Mathura Mandala Sthitihi, residing in the Mathura, which extends to all the holy places, also to Sri Mayapur Dham. And it said that a slight contact with one of these 5 items of devotional service can have an amazing effect. You don't have to have faith in these items of devotional service. No faith is required, but what is required is offenseless attitude. So, and a person with a slight contact with these 5 angas of devotional service can attain the level of bhava. It's just on the threshold of prema. That's a slight contact. That's not like fully being immersed in devotional service. So these items, Bhagavatam, this is powerful. This is powerful. So that's why if we, Rupa Gosvāmī after he enumerates all that, he says, just don't go to the bank of the Yamuna to see this Krishna, because you don't want to. What is it? I forgot, but it's in a roundabout way saying go to Krishna. But if you do not want to lose your affection for family, friends, and so on, then don't go there. So that means go there, go beyond all this, because one should be sufficiently experienced to know that the material life doesn't bring any happiness. So it must be something opposed to that, different in quality, completely different. So yeah, many more things could be said, but it's time for questions and doubts, suggestions.
Thank you very much for the wonderful class, Prabhu. If someone does sinful activity in the dham, does he get any benefit from the dham?
Well, definitely. It's beneficial to be in the dham. That's there. But this is an offense to the dham. It's dhamma, aparad. So I would say, I heard, and it makes sense, that those who are sinning in the dham, they're on the way out from the dham, right? On the way out. And when Prabhupada was asked about so many hogs and dogs and asses, hogs, dogs, all of them in Vrindavan, there's so many, and monkeys. He says these are fallen yogis, transcendentalists, who fell, who were enjoying materially in the dham, but because the dham, so they have fallen down, but the dham is so merciful that one more life they have to spend in this horrible form of life, hog, dog, monkeys, but then they'll go back to the Godhead. So definitely it's always beneficial. If you just go through the dham, if you take a train and it goes through Mathura, or some trains may go through, I guess, through our Navadvip Mandala. Everybody gets benefit, but maybe it's not so immediately seen. This benefit, this accumulates, and it becomes more and more and more. Then we understand, oh, it was. If somebody would tell us, oh, what did you do in the past to get such to be so pious that now you are performing devotional service, maybe all these things would matter. Oh, in this life you went there, you went to Vrindavan, you didn't know anything, you just, I don't know, you were lost and you took rest, and such descriptions which we can read in Puranas. So, something like that. Being in the Dham is always uplifting.
Thank you.
But much more uplifting if we fully take the advantage of the Dham. The Dham is a place for devotees of the Lord. It's not for anyone else.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the class, and I just wanted to thank you for bringing up one of the reasons of fall down is loneliness.
Right.
And I was just thinking about how powerful loneliness is and how dangerous loneliness is. That is really a powerful tool of Maya to break me and to plant a lot of crazy thoughts in my mind. When I am alone with my mind, that's a dangerous place. Even in a crowd, even in the temple, I can feel lonely. When I start comparing myself to others, I start, thinking I'm less than others. I'm thinking, and the mind is just going, And so thank you so much for reminding me how important it is to reach out and not let the loneliness grab me, And just looking at the material world, in a lot of advanced countries, the biggest problem is loneliness. It is actually a killer. Old people are rotting in their apartments and no one finds them for weeks because we have built up a society of loneliness, and one man is strong or something like that. And also it's because we are so afraid of loving relationships, and we don't know how to reach out and be honest and say, please help me, I'm lonely, or I need love, So thank you so much for reminding me about this, and I hope I can do what I can to help others. To break my loneliness, I need to help others, and that's what works very nicely for me, at least. So what's your experience of breaking loneliness, or when loneliness creeps into the mind? Thank you.
So if we are alone, and we feel alone, there's two things you can always do if you can convince your mind. Chant Hare Krishna. That should help. You can read the Bhagavatam. This is always there. It's Krishna. You have to know. You have to be a little philosophical. But I don't. If there's nothing else you can do, this is very nice if you can do. But I mean, if there's no devotee association, where all these things are very more easily available, it's more easy to chant because others are also inspired to chant, and there's power comes in the sangha. That's the power of sankirtan also, singing together, doing things together, being in the association of devotees. But reach out, good association. See where you can get it. How does it go? Sajatiya snigdes sadhu sangha satovare. Try to get association of those who are like-minded and who are friendly towards you, they have some sneha for you, they like you, they'll be merciful, and the best if they're more advanced, so you can learn from them. Yeah. So even if somebody tells you, you're a rascal, he'll tell you with love. And that's what was felt, but devotees felt that was emanating from Prabhupada. He was concerned. Sometimes it was difficult. We have our false egos, and we don't want that so easily to be crushed. Somehow we think that we are perfect. You should help me in the way that I want. That's also there. But sadhu will not do like that. He may be very considerate, do it in a nice way, but also sometimes some twist of the ear is needed. So just to make us understand. But yeah, friendly environment where we can practice Krishna consciousness. Ultimately, it's Krishna consciousness which will bring this sense of fullness in the heart, make us happy. Yeah. And then even if we are alone, we are not alone because Krishna is with us. So then that's why some sadhus are more like loners. They just chant Hare Krishna. Of course, they will like when they'll get some association, but otherwise they're fine. They're Atmaramas. Yeah. But generally, yeah, we need association. So wherever we can get, we can pray to Krishna. Sometimes it's very difficult. There's like thousands of devotees, but all of strangers to us. And we are stranger to them, nobody cares for us. We see it like that. But yeah, have to pray to Krishna. This is all process. The process is we will become humble in this process of devotional service. If we are going to advance, we are certainly going to become humble in due course. Yeah, there's no other way. Sometimes we are so amazed when we hear great devotees speaking. I'm so fallen, the worm in stool is more than I am, and if you hear my name, you degrade. So what are you speaking about? The highest possible, on the highest possible level of devotion. No, but that's ingrained in the prema. Even though being fully qualified, you feel unqualified. Now, materially, this is not possible to understand, but this is what it is. So yeah, sometimes there's some just checking the time. Some external circumstances will make us humble because we have no other way. Then we understand actually, but that's our natural position. Yeah, so yeah. We're lonely because we have no Krishna in our hearts. That's the problem. So therefore we go to those who have Krishna in their hearts. Yeah. And by that process, Krishna will come to our heart as well. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna.